Hello friends, and welcome to the weekly moon update. In these videos, we talk about the moon energy for the current week, as well as a little bit of astrology. If you're new here, there are always timestamps in the description box below, so if you're not watching this on Sunday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when the video premieres, then you can always jump around to whatever time of the week that you might be watching it. There's also an oracle message in every video, so you can jump directly to that if you just want to hear a collective oracle message in regards to the energy of this week. The other thing is, if you're new here, why do we follow the moon? Why do we talk about the moon? I mean, I don't think it's any big secret that humans are made up of mostly water, and it's no big secret that the moon affects bodies of water. So I believe that the moon has a great effect on us in general. I'm also a very intuitive, sensitive, and emotional person, and the moon affects our emotions and the things that are happening within, the tides that are happening within our subconscious energy. I have found through battling anxiety and depression, no matter how many herbs or crystals or psychotherapy I may have gone through, following the moon is the thing that has helped me the most and continues to help me the most consistently, because the moon is always there. It is always circling around the earth, and it's always having an effect on us. And I believe that if you are aware of that energy and pay attention to that energy, that you can shift your own energy. So if you're having a bad day, if you focus on something that is in alignment with the moon, I do believe and have experienced that my energy does shift when I try to align with that energy. So the intention of these videos is so that you can look at the week, look at what the moon is doing for the week, and kind of plan your week accordingly. We are following along in the Just a Phase Moon Planner, which there's links for that in the description box below if you would like to order yours and follow along with us. We've got a hard copy and a digital copy, a couple of different weekly spreads, vertical or horizontal. So there's so many different options to work with whatever helps you the most. I kind of use my planner as like a dream diary, kind of. I put all of my goals and dreams and visions and thoughts and ideas into this thing, and I kind of work with the moon to help me manifest those things. The current Just a Phase Moon Planner is undated, so you can pick it up any time of year, not just in January. And if you do end up picking up a copy and you only work with it for a month and life happens and you don't work with it consistently, that way you can just like pick up in wherever you left off and start there, because I do believe that you can pick up anywhere, get back on track anywhere, no matter how far you've been off track, no matter how far behind you feel like you are. I do believe that the moon helps us, because it's always there, because it's constant, that you can always jump in with the moon anytime, not just on a new moon, not just at the beginning of January, not just at the beginning of any month. I believe that you can jump into the moon cycle anytime, anywhere, and get back into alignment with not just the moon, but mostly yourself. I believe that the moon helps us stay connected to ourselves, to our past, to our soul. So with that being said, in this video, we're talking about January 12th through the 18th. We've got our new moon, but it's not happening until the very, very end of the week. So this whole week is kind of a decrescendo. Is that a word? Decrescendo? Like a downhill slope to the dark moon at the end of the week. We do have Venus changing signs this week also. So let's jump into the moon energy for this week. So one more thing I want to say about why we only talk about a little bit of astrology is because I really think that there's so many astrologers out there, and I feel like astrology is infinite. You're always going to be learning something new and finding some different understanding of it, and everybody's going to have a different perspective of it. And that's because astrology affects us all completely different, because we all have a completely different birth chart. Even if you have twins, they have a different birth chart, and our personal astrology is affected completely different from somebody else's personal astrology. So I just find that following astrology is like this never ending thing. And while the moon, I say, is very constant and consistent, and all astrology is constant and consistent, like we can look at what the planets are going to be doing like 20 years from now, but it's going to affect us all so completely different, and it tends to get very confusing. And I follow a lot of astrologers, and my understanding of astrology ends up being so completely different than theirs, because when you read about different aspects and transits, there's usually like squares are bad and trines are good. And I don't think that all squares are bad, and I don't think all oppositions are bad, and I don't think all trines are good either, and all sextiles are good. I think that it depends on the specific energy of whatever's happening. For example, January has a lot of conjunctions. A conjunction is when the planets are so close together that like they're basically in the same sign, but they're also like really close together. And I don't necessarily think that conjunctions have to be like, I think that it depends on, I don't know. I think any aspect and transit, we can find something positive about it to work with. And I think you just have to look at each individual thing and what's happening to figure out what that is. For example, the conjunctions that we're having this month, which is actually going to be switching at the end of this week. So for the most part, the sun has been in Capricorn, Venus has been in Capricorn, Mars has been in Capricorn, Mercury's been in Capricorn. And so like I see that as like all of these energies and planets coming together in this one sign, and almost like meeting up, and then they're going to go on their separate ways and like do their thing. So it's almost like this meeting, this planning meeting that the planets are having, and then they're going on their separate ways. Some people look at the conjunctions as something being very, very intense, but I mean, I think it's a really good energy to, like, when we look at this specifically of Mars, Venus, and the sun and Mercury being in Capricorn. I think this gives us an opportunity to really set our goals, to harness onto this Capricorn energy. And the reason I bring up all the Capricorn stuff is because we're having our Capricorn New Moon on Sunday, and I think that because we've been culminating in this Capricorn energy, the Capricorn New Moon gives us this opportunity to like really solidify our goals, to really like write your goals in stone. And then once you have that written in stone, this is why I give you guys the moon, the mind map at the beginning of every month. This looks a little bit different than your planner this year, but this is why I give you the mind map at the beginning of this year. So at the beginning of every month, so you can have, this is my goal, and I've carved it into the moon here. This is like set in stone. And then I can like branch off. How can I break this goal down into smaller goals and tasks and to-dos? And I don't know, maybe this could be a shopping list of the resources that you need. So you're setting these goals in stone, and then you're kind of working backwards. Well, so I want to reach this goal by June. How do I break down all of these other moon cycles until then? So by February, I want to have this done. By March, I want to have this done. By April, I want to have this done. So breaking your bigger goals into smaller goals and making them feel more attainable. Because when we looked at something really big, a lot of times we're like, oh, that'll never happen. I can never accomplish that. I don't have enough time for that. And when we break things down into smaller increments, it feels more possible. And then you get into that vibration of believing, of really knowing that like I can reach this goal. I will get there. And that is the energy of Capricorn. Capricorn season starts on the winter solstice. The winter solstice is the coldest, darkest time of the year. But Capricorn teaches us to believe that it is going to get warmer, that it is going to get brighter, that it is going to get lighter, that the plants will grow again in the spring. Capricorn teaches us how to believe. I know I talk a lot about belief with Pisces because Pisces is just like, oh yeah, I totally believe it's going to happen. Like with for no solid reason, Pisces just believes. But Capricorn has that solid earth. It's an earth sign, an earth energy. It has that solid foundation and belief. It knows, it uses that darkness and it uses that quiet to formulate a plan, to visualize a vision, to allocate the resources. It helps us ration our food to get us through the winter. Capricorn has solid reasons for believing that they are going to get to their goals. So that is what we want to be thinking about. And hopefully you've already been thinking about this throughout the entire Capricorn season, which you probably have, because I mean, society tells us that we're supposed to have a goal on January 1st and we're going to start that goal and we're going to achieve that goal. Capricorn season is really just about formulating the plan, germinating the idea, sitting in the silent quiet to see what ideas come up. Like what do you find in that darkness? What do you find in that quiet? What do you find in that stillness? So this entire season, and if you haven't done it yet, that's okay too. You can use this entire week to think about what you want to write down and solidify, put that stamp of like, yes, I'm going to do this onto your goals for 2026. But back to the moon phases, this entire week is a waning crescent moon. So we had our last quarter moon, which was 50% light, 50% dark, and it's continuing to decrease throughout this entire week until it's officially dark on Sunday. And then the new moon is technically when we first start to see that little sliver of light on the right side. So a decreasing and a waning moon is for releasing things, for letting go. We're emptying out our bag of stuff so that we can fill it back up with the things that we're going to need for our journey throughout this year. So the things that you want to be releasing this week, especially on Monday with Scorpio water energy, is like when you think about your goals and your dreams, what is the first thought that comes up? If your first thought is like, maybe this is too big, I don't know if I can do this, we need to take that thought and get rid of it. We need to release it, because Capricorn is solidifying the belief that I'm going to set this goal and I'm going to accomplish it, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to that thing. You also have to really figure out if you want this thing. So those are other things that you want to think about this week. And truly, if it comes down to it and you really don't want this thing, you're just, say it's like a goal that, I don't know, somebody else planted in your head or somebody else is doing. You're like, oh, I see what this person's doing. I could do that. I want to try that. If that's not really like what you want to do and who you want to be, then let's scrap that. Let's get a new goal. So this entire week is releasing and letting go so that by the time we get to Sunday, all of your thoughts are light you up. All of your thoughts get you excited about this thing. All of your thoughts are cheering you on, motivating you, giving you good ideas, giving you constructive criticism, making you feel inspired for this thing. And that again is reinforcing your belief in accomplishing your goals. So the exercise that we have in the Just a Phase Moon Planner is to help you visualize what your life might be like at the end of the year. This way you're like really sitting in that feeling, and like it just gives you more resources to reinforce that belief that, oh, I can really see that. I can imagine myself doing this. I can imagine who the people are that are surrounding you, the people that you're with, the environment that you're in, just like really trying to imagine you already having the goal that you have. And then there's some journaling questions in here to write that down and describe what that looks like so that you remember. You can look back at this throughout the year and think, like, if you're feeling down or if you're feeling like your goal isn't working out the way you wanted it to, you can look back on this and try to visualize it again. Remind yourself that, hey, this is what it's going to look like when I have this thing. And a lot of times it's not going to look like how you envisioned it, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just might work out differently than how you imagined it. Okay, so starting off with Monday, we are in Scorpio. Everybody knows this about me, that Scorpio moon days are not my favorite days, and especially not my favorite day to start off a week. I don't like to start off the week with a water sign in general, so that would be Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, just because I really struggle focusing, because water signs are emotional, and if my emotions are heightened, I have difficulties focusing on just regular day-to-day tasks. So Scorpio for me is one of the hardest, but a lot of people thrive on Scorpio days because we can use this Scorpio energy to release, like I was talking about earlier, to let go of those emotions, to allow them to come to the surface, be released, and then you can move on. But someone who's just like extra emotional like me, my emotions are on the surface level all the time. So just getting through a regular day, even like on a Capricorn day or a Sagittarius day, even getting through a regular day, I'm constantly having to fight my emotions, set them aside, or set myself aside time to process them, deal with them, so that I can move on and go about my day. But I find that with Scorpio days that there's no setting them aside, and no matter how much time I allot to process them, to release, to cry, whatever, it's just that it's never ending. Like it's a constant flow of emotions that really distract me from just getting my regular day-to-day tasks done. On a waning Scorpio day, we're going to want to release and let go, like I was talking about at the beginning of this video, so that when we get to our new moon, we are empty, quiet, and still. And when that first sliver of light appears, we hopefully feel inspired to what are we going to call, what do we want to call in? What do we want to bring in? What resources do we need to accomplish the goals that we've set? So not my favorite way to start off a Monday, but we can really use the Scorpio energy to release. So for me, following the moon, I know that I'm not going to get much done on Monday. So I might want to do extra things on, well, I think we're in Scorpio on Sunday. So Saturday, before the moon starts to transition, Saturday afternoon into Scorpio, I'm gonna like maybe do some meal prepping, or get start on some Monday to-dos. Like maybe I'll film an extra video on Sunday. I think I talked about streaming on Sunday, so hopefully getting some little tasks out of the way that might be more time consuming or might take more energy or focus, so that I can, which is really good for a Libra day. Libra kind of helps pick up the slack and pay attention to the thing that's been neglected. So a Libra day, Friday and Saturday, is going to be a good time for me personally to get extra things done, so that if I want to cry all day Monday, then I can cry all day Monday, and it's not going to like set me behind on work or anything like that. So we will be in Scorpio all day Monday, and a lot of this feels like a lot of Scorpio energy, pretty much all day Tuesday too. But then the moon will transition into Sagittarius Tuesday evening. And so our middle of the week is going to have that Sagittarius spark, that light. So when Scorpio releases, Sagittarius reignites and is like, hey, what do we want to do now? What do we want to do next? Let's get excited about something. Sagittarius energy helps us get excited about things. And we just went through Sagittarius season right before Capricorn season. So like that time of year, the end of November, beginning of December, we are excited. We're getting excited for the holiday. We're looking back on the previous year and we're saying like, oh, that didn't work out, but I remember that, like we remember the good times with Sagittarius. And then Sagittarius also helps us look ahead. So Sagittarius is really like pointing the arrow in both directions. I really kind of feel like the symbol should have two arrows. It's like reflecting on the past, remembering the good, and looking towards the future and pointing us in that direction that we want to go. So the middle of the week might really have us like getting excited for something. I know we all listened to the astrology for 2026 and so a lot of people kind of hype it up as like doom and gloom, but Sagittarius helps us find that light, find that spark and ignite it. So this middle of the week might have you like we've looked at the astrology for 2026. We know that it's going to be a bumpy ride. Let's have fun with it. Roller coasters are fun, right? We came here to learn. So what can you get excited about for 2026? I mean, I honestly feel like we might just need to buckle up and enjoy the ride. This might not be a good year to like start a business, or unless your business is helping us through unless your business is helping us through this time. It like set more goals that are doable. Look at the year realistically and understand that like things are very uncertain right now and we don't know what the end of the year is going to look like. We can hope, we can dream, but we know it's going to be rocky, we know it's going to be bumpy. What are goals that you can set for yourself that are more maybe like self-care goals? Like, hey, when I'm feeling overwhelmed and when I'm struggling mentally, let's have a protocol in place for when that happens. I like to have like extra food in my freezer. I've always wanted one of those deep freezers so that I could have like I can pull anything out when I'm lacking time or energy to throw it in the oven and cook it. I've always wanted one of those deep freezers, but I still try to keep what I can in my freezer. So for those times, I like to make sure that I have things available because I just know my cycle. I know that when I'm sad and when I'm depressed, I'm going to reach for the chocolate, I'm going to reach for the junk food, and then I'm not going to feel good. And then when I'm not physically feeling well, then I'm not mentally feeling well again. And there is this cycle that is continuous and continuous, like it just never ends unless I break it. So if I break it with grabbing a smoothie instead of some Cheetos, I know I'm going to feel physically better, and that's going to in turn affect my mental health as well. So maybe one of my goals for this year really needs to be maybe getting better at meal prepping, because we can't live off of smoothies. Like I'm really good about making smoothies and making sure that I have one always ready and available. Maybe I need to get better at like an actual meal prepped in the freezer so that I can throw it in the oven and it's ready to go. So that might be one of my goals that I'm inspired to, because I do like cooking and I like meal prepping. So I might need to figure out how to work something like that into my schedule. I've also wanted to have like there's specific oracle decks that really help me when I'm feeling low. Because, sometimes like the Love and Light oracle decks, they're just like when you're feeling down, you're like, oh yeah, right. Like I can put a smile on my face right now. Like sometimes they're just too light and fluffy, which is good sometimes, but not when you're in those dark moments. So I have a couple oracle decks that I really like to pull from. So this is actually one of my intentions for this year, is to like have a list or something something that I can see, something that's easy to see when I'm in those sad moments. And it's like a list of things that I can do. Like there's a specific oracle deck, like pull a card from this deck, because it usually does, like, it hits you in those dark moments, but it also uplifts you at the same time. It takes the pressure off. It gives you relief. So I do actually, one of my intentions this year is to have like a list of things that make me feel better when I'm down, and a variety of things. Because sometimes, I mean, going for a walk and exercising when I'm feeling down, yes, I know I'll feel better when I'll do that, but I need something else first that will actually give me enough energy to do those things, because a lot of times I don't have the energy to do it. So one of my intentions for this year is to have, like, I might even have like a box that says like open when you're sad. And it's going to have that oracle deck in there. Maybe it is going to have some chocolate in there. Maybe it's just going to have a note that says, like, maybe it's going to have a positive message from, like, I'll sit down when I'm actually in a good and happy mood and write a letter to my sad self. So that's one of my intentions for this year. But I mean, I think, like, let's make realistic goals. Let's, like, we're not going to save $10,000 this year. Like, let's be realistic. Groceries are too expensive. So what are realistic goals that you can set for yourself and taking care of yourself a little bit better this year? And Sagittarius energy can help us reflect on 2025, look ahead at 2026. What would we do differently, etc., etc. Okay, so we're going to be in Sagittarius energy all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and then we'll move into Capricorn energy Friday morning at 6:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is going to put us into our new moon energy. Pay attention to that, because for the most part, we'll be in the Capricorn new moon energy Friday and Saturday. The moon's going to be new at 2:51 p.m. Sunday afternoon, but then a couple hours later, it's going to move into Aquarius. So keep that in mind if you want to really harness that Capricorn energy to solidify your goals. Then I would recommend doing it Friday or Saturday. Well, or Sunday. I don't know. I'm even on a new moon, I still do my rituals or journaling or lighting a candle, whatever I'm doing for the new moon at night. I still do it at night. Even if, like, the moon technically is in the sky during the day on a new moon. That's why we don't see it, because it rises and sets with the sun. So the moon, at 12 o'clock noon, the moon is like right up there with the sun, straight above. So, I mean, there's no reason why at noon you can't do your new moon thing. I mean, the moon's going to be directly above head at that time. So you can do it on Sunday. I just always, I feel more like myself at night. I feel more connected to spirit at night. I feel mentally stable at night. So I just do my moon stuff at night. So I'm probably going to do moon stuff probably Saturday night, but you could do Friday also, or you can do Sunday afternoon, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel called to do. Sometimes I actually think that it's better to do it before, because sometimes I have such low energy on the new moon that, like, I might just be resting all day Sunday. It's really up to you. And that does happen a lot. But I still consider that honoring the new moon. If the only thing that you have energy to do is to rest on a new moon, then congratulations, you did it. All right, so this is, I chose the Fairy Godmother Oracle today by Flavia Kate Peters. I love this deck so much. And the reason I chose it for Capricorn New Moon is because this deck has attitude. This deck is going to give you some tough love, put you in your place, say the things that need to be said, but also in a very magical and whimsical way. And that's kind of like Capricorn energy to me. And I really resonate with that energy. Like, I need you to tell me how it is, but I need you to, like, put some sparkle on it for me. So this was another card that I was like, oh, is this a card just for me? But I am part of the collective. But my word for 2026 is worth. So it's kind of funny that we got self-worth. I almost picked another card, but I was like, you know what? I'm part of the collective. I'm trying to know my worth here. So instead of picking a card thinking that like, oh, this is only for me, it's not for everybody else. I've decided that it's for everybody else also. I feel quite sorry for the self. It's shunned and left upon the shelf. It wishes it could be like others, pop stars, actors, sisters, brothers. Decide on how you wish to be. Love who you are, for that's the key. If I were to say to you that you are very special, how would you react? Would you smile knowingly and graciously and say thank you as you accepted those words? Or would you shake your head believing this to not be the case whatsoever? I want you to go deep within and be totally honest with yourself and me. There, you've done it. Well done. That wasn't so hard for you now, was it? But for me and your soul, it is. Why is it that you keep tearing yourself to shreds and have such a low opinion of yourself? Usually it comes from someone else. Cast your mind back to reveal who told you that you are no good, not beautiful, that you will never be loved. These are all lies, stemming from another's jealousy and control of you. Whatever it is one thinks, believes in, or feels becomes that person's reality. If you keep affirming that you're no good, then that is what you eventually become as your energy resonates and grows to match your affirmations. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be all that you desire yourself to be? Well, that wish will come true sooner than you think, with a sprinkle of magic and a little bit of action. So grab something you can make notes on and write. Write a list of all that you would like to be and decide to be it. For instance, you could write, I am profoundly clairvoyant. I am loved. I am beautiful. I am worthy. The more you focus on knowing that all will come about in an instant, the firmer your belief in the truth of your statements, the sooner you will have created the person that you wish to be. But I promise that you already are those things. You just have to believe it. So I did not read this beforehand. This could not be a more perfect card for what I was just saying about Capricorn is solidifying that belief that you will accomplish your goals. You will become the person that you want to be because Capricorn knows. Capricorn saw it in the dark, dark night of winter, saw that was going to happen. That goal, that thing, that light at the end of the tunnel, that spring was going to be there. So I guess this card is not just about me, for me, but obviously something I needed to hear. But I think we all need to hear that. We all are usually more hard on ourselves than others. So I hope we can all take this message to heart. All right, so our chakra card is Crystal Kingdom Allies. Gaia's womb is lined with crystals and minerals in many colors of the light spectrum. Each one is a unique and specialized healer with wisdom and transformational energies to share and imprint upon you. Spread your hands wide and imagine each fingertip plugging into a different vortex of our sacred planet. Call in those energies and allow them to support you, encourage you, and heal you from within. So I think this whenever we receive this card, I'm just like, do you have your crystals on you today? I have my crystal necklace on, and I've got a bag of rocks in my bra, and I don't know. I feel weird. I feel like naked without crystals. So whenever I really leave the house and I forgot to have crystals on me, I panic. I have to turn around and come back. So if you like, it seems like the theme of this week is belief, like believing that you are deserving, worthy of the things that you desire. And I think that crystals can help us like get into that vibration, like crystals, our energetic field tries to mimic the same vibration as a crystal's energetic field. So I think that there's probably, like, if you're not yet in that belief system and that's something that you want to work on this year, then using crystals to help you stay in that vibration, or at least get you started with it, I think can be really helpful. So this particular crystal is bloodstone that they recommend. And then our crystal card is ruby. So I don't think that many people have ruby. Bloodstone's a little bit more common or easier to come across than ruby, maybe. I mean, rubies you'll find more in like gem form and in jewelry and things. But if you've ever bought any malas from me or bracelets from me, there is a high chance that I use ruby zoisite a lot, which is ruby with zoisite. So I mean, there are other more commonly found like tumbled pieces, or like I said, in bead form, that have ruby in it, and ruby zoisite is one of them. Ruby kyanite, ruby fusite, and ruby in granite are all other ways that you can get ruby. If I've just never seen ruby as a tumbled stone. I think I have a piece of ruby, but it's like a small, like it's a faceted, meant for putting into jewelry stone. So I don't know. But I'm sure maybe you can find it somewhere. I mean, gems are so popular these days. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. But anyways, ruby is a gem of passion, intensity, eros love, and enthusiasm. It activates the heart chakra and helps heal emotional and physical issues of the heart, including heartache and grief. Ruby helps attract new love or reignite the flame that's already there, increasing your passion and soul connection. The affirmation is, I am filled with passion, open to love, and not afraid to live with intensity. So I love this affirmation for this week. Like, hopefully this Sagittarius is going to ignite that passion. And we want to lock into this Capricorn belief system that I'm not afraid to live with intensity. So I love these cards for this week, and I do feel like this ruby is coming up, and like a heart chakra, heart healing stone is coming up, because usually those doubts that we have in our mind that like we're not going to accomplish our goals is probably because of some hurt in the past. So if we're using these stones to heal the heart, that can in turn help us begin to believe that we are deserving of our desires and the things that we love. So other stones that you can work with that are heart healing, if you can't find ruby, morganite is amazing. Rose quartz, I mean, rose quartz is so easy to find. Morganite is specifically healing those like deep painful wounds, so it's a really wonderful, beautiful crystal to work with. Bloods, and also I'm noticing that like, so this card speaks to ruby healing physical issues with the heart as well. And bloodstone, which was listed on this card for the root chakra, bloodstone is also healing for the physical body as well, specifically circulation, but just healing of the physical body in general. So I think that in order to solidify this belief system, we do need to heal our hearts, and we do need to heal our physical bodies as well, which is another thing that people think about in January. You know, a lot of times people start like physical journeys in January with like, I'm going to exercise more, I'm going to eat better, changing my diet, getting outside more, those sorts of things. So I think that this is really on theme for the beginning of the year and getting ready for a new year. And I really do feel the need and the emphasis to stick with the community. We had our hermit year of 2025, and we don't want to hide and isolate anymore. We want to come out, and I think that is a good way to, while I am a very big cheerleader for isolation and going into hermit mode, I think that maybe in order for us to heal collectively, we need to not hide and isolate. I think we need to like step out and say like, I am hurting. I am hurt, like proclaiming it to the world. Like, I am hurting. Like, I think that 2026 is going to be a year of needing to use our voices, speak out, stand out. Like, we are all suffering. We are all collectively suffering in a myriad of various different ways all over the world. And like, enough is enough. Like, we don't want to be hurting anymore. We are here to learn and experience and grow, but we're also here to experience the good things in life too. Our goals, our dreams, our passions. We're here to experience love. We are here to always come back to love, no matter what pain, struggle, obstacle, or hurt we may be facing. We have to come back to love. Sometimes I think it's that we love so deeply and that's why it hurts so much. So it always comes back to love. It has to come back to love. But we have to love ourselves first and foremost. So that's why this self-worth card is coming up. I can't believe, like, I decided in the fall that my word for the year was going to be worth/worthy. And ever since then, it's just nonstop. I'm constantly seeing things about worth and value and worthiness everywhere, and it's nonstop. So if you're interested in choosing a word for the year, I highly, highly recommend it. I did a whole video about it last year. I'm thinking about doing another one for this year, but I think it's going to be a private video because I owe you guys my year. It was supposed to be quarterly update, but I owe you like a 6-month update since the last time I did an update. So I was thinking I would do my year of magic, and I'm not yet quite done processing my year of love because it's been a very hurtful journey. So anyways, choose a word for the year. I believe in your worth, and I think like it's so easy to believe in somebody else's worth, but for some reason it's so hard to think like, well, I'm not worthy of that. They're worthy of that. I can see that in them. I can see that light in them. I can see that love in them. I can see that heart in them. I can see that soul in them. But why does that disclude me? I don't know. So that's my goal for this year, recognizing self-worth. So hopefully you are aware of your worth as well, because it's showing up here for the collective card. So there we go. So thank you so much for starting off your 2026 with me. I hope that you have a wonderful week and a happy new moon. I hope you're able to write down those goals and believe that you will accomplish them. Thank you so much for being here again. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. The moon is officially new at 2:50. Oops. It won't let me use my laser and my finger at the same time. So